This F-4 Phantom welcomes you to the Hill Aerospace Museum. The museum was founded in 1982 as part of the United States Air Force Heritage Program. The museum opened to the public in 1987 in a renovated World War II era machine shop, moving to its current location in 1991. Currently, the museum welcomes around 350,000 visitors annually. Not only does the museum have more than 70 aircraft on display in its two inside galleries and outside air park, it exhibits thousands of artifacts depicting the history of aviation of the United States Air Force, Hill Air Force Base, and the state of Utah. The F-89 was one of the first jet-powered fighters and the first fighter interceptor with guided missiles, and notably the first combat aircraft armed with air-to-air nuclear weapons. The YA-7F Corsair was the plane that almost was. When the Air Force needed a faster fighter jet for close air support and ground attack, two A-70 strike fighters underwent a major reconfiguration. Each received an upgraded engine, stronger wings, and a longer fuselage. Unfortunately for the YA-7F, the Air Force chose the ground-type version of the F-16 instead. This is a life-size bronze of a World War II airman. He is holding his parachute and reading a letter from home. Known in the U.S. Air Force as the Blue Canoe, the U-3 is the military version of the CESSNA 310 twin-engine transport. The U-3 was used to transport military personnel and light supplies. During the Vietnam War, the U-3s flew film and intelligence information to units in the field. If you are old enough, you might recognize this plane from the Sky King television show that aired in the 1950s. It's hard to miss the massive size of this aircraft. Clamshell doors, hydraulic ramp in the nose, and elevator under the fuselage allow GLOBEMASTER to transport large cargo items. The C-124 could accommodate 200 troops or 127 patients on litters and their attendants, and carry up to 74,000 pounds of cargo. The C-7 was designed for performing airlift missions to forward battle zones where short, unimproved airfields required the capability to take off and land in very short distances. This twin-engine tactical transport combined a spacious box-like fuselage with a high inverted gull wing and a large upswept tail. Notice the sleek blended wing body configuration. This geometry gives the bomber excellent speed, maneuverability, and survivability. It is commonly called the bomb. The B-1 Lancer carries the largest payload of guided and unguided weapons, making it the backbone of the U.S. Air Force's long-range bomber force. The T-28 Trojan entered production in 1950 to replace the World War II era P-6 trainer. Besides its use as a trainer, the T-28 was successfully employed as a counterinsurgency aircraft, primarily during the Vietnam War. When production ended in 1957, a total of 1,948 T-28s had been produced. The Douglas T-54 was a military version of the 4-engine Douglas DC-4 commercial transport. C-54 Skymasters flew a total of 79,642 ocean crossings during World War II, with only 3 aircraft lost. The C-54 also participated in operations between India and China over the Himalayan mountains, flying the Hump. The Hump was given the name by Allied pilots in the Second World War to the eastern end of the Himalayan mountains, over which they flew military transport aircraft from India to China to resupply the Chinese war effort and the units of the United States Army Air Forces based in China. Skymasters transported supplies to both the European and Pacific theaters during World War II. After World War II, over 200 C-54s, including this C-54G, hauled coal, food, and milk to West Berlin, Germany during the Berlin airlift. For more than 60 years, B-52s have been the backbone of the strategic bomber force for the United States. The B-52 is capable of dropping or launching the widest array of weapons in the U.S. inventory. The original design of the B-52 placed the gunner in the tail of the aircraft. The B-52G moved the tail gunner from the tail turret to a remote firing station in the forward crew compartment, which operated the four 50 caliber M3 machine guns that were located in the tail. Updated with modern technology, the B-52 is capable of delivering the full complement of joint developed weapons and will continue into the 21st century as an important element of our nation's defenses. The Air Force currently expects to operate the B-52 through 2050. The C-119 flying boxcar was manufactured to carry cargo, military personnel, hospital litter patients, and drop troops and supplies by parachute into areas where aircraft could not land. Later modifications produced the AC-119 gunships utilized during the Vietnam War, which featured 4 miniguns and 2 M61 Vulcan 20mm cannons. The C-130 is without a doubt the ultimate workhorse of the United States Air Force as well as over 60 other nations. Designed in the 1950s as the military's first purpose-built troop carrier, the Hercules has gone on to serve as everything from a gunship to a search and rescue aircraft, a research vessel, aerial refueler, and aerial firefighter. With more than 40 variants and continuous production for over 60 years, the Hercules is undoubtedly one of a kind. It was 2 days in August 1945 that made the B-29 one of the most well-known aircraft in history. The B-29's Enola Gay and boxcar, assigned to the 509th Composite Group, dropped the world's first 2 atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan, ending World War II. The KC-135 was the United States Air Force's first jet-powered refueling tanker to replace the KC-97 Stratofreighter. KC-135 was initially tasked with refueling strategic bombers. It was used extensively in the Vietnam War and later conflicts, such as Operation Desert Storm, to extend the range and endurance of U.S. tactical fighters and bombers. In November of 2021, the Utah Air National Guard's 151st Air Refueling Wing was selected as the KC-135 Test Detachment for the Air National Guard and Air Force Reserve Command Test Center. The museum is open Tuesday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. It is a must-see if you are in northern Utah. Admission is free, but donations are appreciated. There's also a gift shop where you can purchase souvenirs to support the museum. In future videos, I will be exploring the 2 inside galleries, so stay tuned.